Welcome to another Sobriety and Silver informative short. Please like, share, and subscribe to help support my humble channel. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. You know, I've been looking at the price of gold and silver lately, and man, it is just soaring. Gold's hitting all-time highs, silver's not far behind. And it's got me thinking, it's exciting for sure if you're already heavily invested, but for those of us who are just starting out, or maybe for those of us who want to keep adding to our stack without breaking the bank, these prices can feel, well, it's a little intimidating. It feels like the barrier to entry is getting higher and higher every single day. So I asked myself, is now a good time to get back to the basics? To go back to the old school grassroots methods of stacking metals? I'm talking about something that almost anyone can do, with just the cash in their pocket. I'm talking about searching nickel rolls for those elusive silver war nickels and hoarding pre-1982 copper pennies. It might sound a little crazy in this age of high-purity bullion, but hear me out. This is more than just a treasure hunt. It's a strategic way to build a tangible savings account almost for free. Let's start with the humble nickel, the 5-cent piece. Now, most people just see it as pocket change, something to toss in a tip jar. But for a few short years during World War II, this little coin was special. From 1942 to 1945, the U.S. Mint needed nickel and copper for the war effort, for things like artillery shells and wiring. So they changed the composition of the nickel. For those few years, nickels were made of 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. These are what we call war nickels, and they are the only silver nickels ever produced by the U.S. Mint. The cool thing is that you can spot them pretty easily. Just look at the back of the coin above the Monticello building. If you see a big prominent mint mark, a P, D, or S, right there on top, you found one. That's your golden ticket. You've just turned 5 cents into, at today's prices, somewhere between $1 and $1.50 worth of silver. That's a 2,000% to 3,000% return on your investment instantly. So how do you find them? It's simple. You go to your bank and ask for a box of nickels. A standard box costs $100 and contains 50 rolls. Then you just sit down, maybe while watching a movie or listening to a podcast, and you hunt. You look at the date and the back of every single coin. It's a numbers game, and honestly, it's a lot of fun. It feels like a real-life treasure hunt. But what about all the other nickels? The ones that aren't silver? This is where the second part of my strategy comes in. Using nickels as a savings account. Think about it. A nickel's face value is 5 cents, but the metal is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel is actually worth more than that. Right now, the melt value of a standard nickel fluctuates, but it's often over 6, sometimes even close to 7 cents. So every time you set aside a nickel, you are saving something that has an intrinsic value higher than its face value. It's a government-backed coin that can never be worth less than 5 cents, but its base metal content gives it a floor that's actually higher. You can't lose. You're literally saving 6 or 7 cents for every 5 cents you put away. This is why I've started just saving all my nickels. I get a box, I hunt for the silver war nickels, and then every single other nickel, every Jefferson from 2023, every beat-up one from 1964, goes into a bucket. It's my nickel savings account. It costs me nothing to do this because at any point, I can take that bucket back to the bank and get my money back dollar for dollar. No risk. But in the meantime, I'm slowly and steadily accumulating a significant weight in valuable base metals. The same logic applies to hoarding copper pennies. Any penny dated before 1982 is made of 95% copper, and its melt value is often 2 to 3 times its face value. In a world where digital currency can vanish and the stock market feels like a roller coaster, there's something incredibly reassuring about holding a heavy bucket of real, tangible metal. It's a hedge against inflation that costs you almost nothing to acquire. It's a return to the very foundation of what stacking is all about, preserving wealth in its most basic form. So next time you're at the bank, consider asking for a box of nickels. You might get lucky and find some silver, but even if you don't, you've started a savings plan where you literally can't lose. In these crazy times, that sounds like a pretty smart move to me. Happy hunting. Thanks for sticking around. Have a beautiful, wonderful, blessed day.